Vettas. Nikos Vettas is General Director for the Foundation for Economic and Industrial Research, and he joins us now. Nikos, great to have you with us. They may be unable to form a single-party government, but this is a far stronger showing for New Democracy than I think the polls were predicting. We can call this a win.
Right. The polls were predicting that New Democracy would be ahead, more or less, but no one predicted that it would have effectively double the percentage that Syriza has. It's turns out it was 20% of the vote for Syriza, 40% for New Democracy. But as you said, this is still short of having a full parliamentary majority. So it looks like we are heading for new elections in roughly a month from now. And the full prediction of everyone right now is that New Democracy will be able to form a single-party government. This is not 100% certainty, but it is high. This is with high probability.
What if they can't at that stage?
Sorry?
What if they can't form a government at that stage? I guess it's the loss of time that I'm worried about. When you're campaigning for an election, we're talking about perhaps another month for an election. What if they can't form a single-party government at that stage?
Rules, yeah, it's interesting. The rules are such that the electoral system is a little bit different, will be a little bit different a month from now. So giving a bonus to the party that will be first. As a result, New Democracy then will have about 30 more MPs than what it has today. And this gives high chance, as I said, they will be able to govern just by themselves. If they were to govern now, they would have to seek the votes of the third party, PASOK, the Socialist Party. And honestly, right now, no one in the country thinks that this is going to be a likely outcome.
Is this a vote of confidence in the policies that the government has put into place, the relative stability, I think, that Greece has enjoyed, if that's the right word, over the past few years, relative to what we saw in the, I guess, decade, quite frankly, before? I've been to one or two or many elections in Greece over the past few years. People just wanting a continuation of stability, perhaps, Nikos, more than anything else.
You're right, stability, but you're also right to say relative stability, because it wasn't that stable with the COVID pandemic, then the energy crisis. Ukraine is very near. Inflation has hit very hard the households. So it hasn't been easy, but you're right. Greece has been in a turmoil with the Eurozone debt crisis that was triggered with Lehman Brothers. So starting really several years back. And in a word, I think Greeks were tired of all this drama. No one wants more drama. I think no one believes things are going to be easy ahead. The expectations are positive, but realistic. Greeks know that it is not possible that the government can go on with a policy that is going to be able to support its households in the future in the way it did during the COVID and then the energy crisis. They know that there is going to be a difficult road ahead, but indeed they voted to have a more normal policy, a more stable policy that gradually can increase incomes and make Greece overall converge to the Eurozone average.
I think it's normal in election periods for leaders or hopeful leaders to discuss how to share out the economic pie rather than how to implement policies to grow that pie in general. And I'm talking about economic growth for the economy. Nikos, what do you want to see from the next government going forward that helps grow that pie rather than just, to your point, sharing out pieces of it, which is increasingly difficult? And are you confident that Greece gets its investment grade rating perhaps in the second half of this year? Because that's vital too.
It is vital, and already you saw the markets today have rewarded Greece in a sense. Money is flowing into the country. But you put your finger in exactly the question for how Greece can grow. And I would say there are three things that are important. First of all, that all sorts of policies that are going to be implemented, they reflect a sense of seriousness, that we are not going to experiment. Greece is not making very high payments for its debt right now, but it will in 4 or 5 years from now. And especially in an environment where interest rates are going up, this is not something to play with. The second thing is how to manage your public expenditure and receipts. So basically, Greece has to have not a high, but a modest and systematic primary budget surplus that is going to reflect to everyone that it is on the right route. And that is also a pro-growth policy. Greece cannot go back to deficits. But the third thing, and that's the more difficult one perhaps, and that's where the high percentage of votes and support for the government, one way to read this, is that this is not just a mandate to continue what it was doing, to be serious and manage the crisis well, but proceed to change the country even further. And by changing the country, we are still lagging behind most Eurozone economies in all the important measures, productivity, how much we're exporting, how innovative our businesses are. There have been a really large number of positive reforms and developments, but we are nowhere near we can be 4 years from now if the government implements reforms that are going to shake up the economy in the right ways.
Yes, well, I'm sure Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis will be saying, give me some more time now to finish the job. We'll see. Nikos, great to have you with us. Thank you for your insights. Nikos Vettas there, General Director. Thank you for the Foundation for Economic and Industrial Research.